Okay, y'all. I personally, I don't know about the rest of the world. I'm not very tapped in to pop culture, social media. Funny to me, making videos, but it's really not my thing. I just really do like what I'm called to do and the energy I'm picking up on. And y'all, baby, I, I don't even know the proper way to say it. BM, baby mama culture, she for the streets. Y'all, I have no idea who I think it's Sky. The chick that was on Disney that's pregnant, I have no idea who she is, Um, Theo Mori, of course I know who she is, but it's I have no idea what's going on in her personal life. It's these women, these entertainers signed up to entertain. So if you want to talk about Sister or Christmas movies or, The Game, any of the things she's been in or any of the things that the chick, you want to critique their work, fine. That's what they signed up to do. You're talking on their work, their things they're doing to entertain us. So yes, that's what they signed up to do. Speak on it. Their personal life, they didn't sign their personal life up for it. So why are we speaking on it? And I'm not just saying entertainers. You can put that with politicians, doctors, neighbors. I really don't care who it is. Said, that's their personal business. We're not here for it. And everyone is on their own personal journey. And everyone's doing this, no matter how you identify, gender, race, everyone is doing this. And it really hurts my heart to see it. But definitely when I hear, people who identify as women, as female, coming after these women I hope she learned. I hope this is a lesson. And for all you future ones out here, I hope y'all learn too, that this be the lesson. I'm so sick of hearing that. I am so sick of hearing that. How does shaming someone help them be better? Everything that we do, especially people who are older and identify with having wisdom or just life experience, because as you get older, you gain life experience and you've gone through it. What did you learn? Clearly you have wisdom because you want to share with the young women. But now, and that's fine. I'm all about sharing wisdom to uplift someone. But now to share it so they don't go through what you went through, that's not fair. That's not your call to make. That's your almost level of control. You want to stop them, protect them, in such a way that you avoid them hitting a pitfall. But what if that was what they were meant to do? Like I said, we're here, this earthly plane, this earthly experience. It's an experience. We're meant to experience things. We're meant to live. We're meant to learn. If people are constantly getting in the way of something or saying, oh, I wouldn't do that, or that's not the best thing for you, how do you, how do you ever learn the lesson? I love the idea and concept. Think about when we're in school. When we're in school and you're young and you're learning about money, the most relevant I can put out now is just money. You learn how to count money and things like that. It means nothing to you. So you learn that in elementary school. It means nothing to you when you're elementary school because you ain't really using money. But when you get older, that's when you rely on the knowledge you learn because you apply it in life when you're going through and getting the experience. So while we may have taught young men how to treat women and value women. And we may have taught young women how to carry themselves and respect their bodies and respect themselves. When you get out there and experience it, it's a different type of feel. And you might have known better, but you really, again, you don't, like with a baby touching a flame or a child touching a flame, you can say, don't touch it because it's hot, right? And that should be self-explanatory enough. It's hot, don't touch it. But what do most people learn? You have to touch it first. I don't care what age you are. The flame, stove, iron, pick it. Car, whatever. You touch it. And it's from that you learn, oh, I don't never want to do that again. Some people do. But it's truly through experience. So when these young women are going through these experiences, you're not there to shame them or to share. It's fine to share your opinion. We're all opinionated people. But when you go about it in such a way that shames someone, makes them feel bad for themselves, what is that? I'm so sick of tired of hearing people say she for the streets. What is that? Ain't no one made for the streets. She was in a relationship. I don't care who it is. It can be a man. You were in a relationship. You may have decided to grow while in the relationship. And when you decided to grow, you realized that wasn't for me. Or you may have been in a relationship, followed everything that people told you to do. You were that straight, straight line, cookie cutter, perfectionism, not getting in trouble. I went to school, I got my job, then I got, my husband, my wife, and I got, like, you did all of that. And then you might reach around 40, 50, and what they call a midlife crisis. You might go out there and cheat. You might go want to get a divorce and, date more. All of that happens because guess what? You did not live your life when you were younger. You did not experience things. So your lack of experience makes you yearn, desire things that you never had. Meanwhile, though, everyone's sitting there talking about even Holly from The Little Mermaid. I'm talking about her. Here's another one. I've seen things like, broke boy, influencer, hood boy, and a rich girl. Like, here's another one. That was her lesson. And I'm willing to bet for like pretty much everyone out there who's got stuff to, talk about her and downplay her and shame her. You probably know that. You have that opinion because you did it. You made that same, I'm not going to say mistake. You have in common with her that shame experience. Same experience. Not a mistake, an experience. We can normally share wisdom and relate with a lot of people a lot of times because we've been through something. And, and there's a little shade. But I'm willing to bet, everyone like who's been through it and want to shame her. I don't know what normal people are shaming her for, because while she may have experienced something like that, you might deem as a mistake, because we don't know how she feels. You might deem as a mistake. Guess what? She did that while making a whole lot of money, boo. And a lot of us out here make that mistake with no money. Okay? None. We don't got not a dime to our name out here taking care of men and women that we will never even marry. Some of us never even see again in life. That girl has money in the bank. And money in the bank don't make a broken heart any easier or a broken family any easier. That doesn't. But when she's going through this healing process, she's, processing what happened in that relationship, what went wrong, what she, how she might have lost herself or changed herself, or maybe it just wasn't aligned with her vibration. Or while she processes what she's been through, guess what? She can afford to take care of her child. She can afford to take care of herself and her own physical, mental, and spiritual needs, whether that's therapy, whether that's Reiki healing, whether that's whatever practitioner she needs to get her energy up. She can afford to do it. Most of us, majority of the world, who we don't ever want those mistakes to be broadcasted in the world, most of us, we ain't even on that level. We just out here, and, with a baby hanging on our arm or something, or an ex whatever, recovering with not a dollar to our name, working hard. I've seen her cook for her child. Like, I've seen her do photo shoots all with her child. They said, and they're like, oh, because that ain't her husband. It don't matter if someone is your husband. A husband can always leave. And never let a wife, husband, spouse, significant, anything define you. You are significant alone. And if you don't feel like you are significant alone, maybe it's time for you to do some healing and go on a self-discovery journey. Because anyone that you add to your life is just an addition. It's like makeup. They enhance what was already there. But you don't need it. You don't need them. That's what a partner or spouse is, an addition. But nothing that you need. So, whether she's with him or not him, any of these women, I'm sure there are men going through it too. I just can't think of it, so maybe Tia's husband, people thought about that, but I'm saying regardless of what these people are going through, it's like that's their life. Stop shaming them. Stop trying to make them feel bad. Like, let this be another example. Or even, I don't know the whole full story, y'all. Again, like I said, I started saying I'm not into pop culture or nothing. It if something happens to cross my way, then I like might fall into it for a second, but I don't know the whole thing. The thing about like that blogger who like her husband and there was, things involved with her children and she basically got to get divorced and everyone's like saying, told her. Okay, what I will say is people having an opinions on that I kind of get. I really do. Because like I said, she threw that out there. She wanted to share her personal life with people so they can, quote unquote, elevate the way that she did. Okay. So everybody who wants to have an opinion on her personal life, I understand that because that's what she put out there. The entertainers, the celebrities, they ain't put that out there. So please stop talking about their personal lives. But even with this chick, but now if an entertainer, celebrity puts their personal life out there, that's a whole, have a great time. I don't got nothing about that. But with this chick, like, people's like, okay, again, it said in the Bible, probably the best, judge not, least you want to be judged. 9 times out of 10, when you pointing the finger at someone, just remember you got one pointing back at you, babe, okay? Like, judge not, least you want to be judged. You want someone to be out here and judge every mistake you made? Like, for real, like, yo, you want to go, like, when I sit there and reminisce with some of my friends from, like, college or even, like, high school, like, one, we're all amazed that I'm alive. Okay? Me in particular. Like, if there was real cameras around or someone to document it all, like, Lord God help me, So, I don't know. I think we just have to stop judging. Like, yeah, she made a mistake. She definitely had some judgment errors for sure. And we can judge her and say, oh, I could have told you so, or I don't know the term, guys. Was that hypergamy or whatever that, marrying up, I guess, you gotta have a name for everything. Like, but it's like, she probably did learn a lesson. And it's like, guys, like, is anybody watching, like, or even listening, like, hearing what her children went through, what she went through? And she continued that cycle on, and it's already been passed on to her young children. She's got to live with that for the rest of her life. And it doesn't look like she's one of those people, like, oh, that ignores that it happened to their children. At least she saw that happen, and she took a step to rectify it, which, thank God, we're moving ahead in life. Because let me tell you, back in the day, people act like it didn't happen. Just to stay with somebody because they needed it. She made possibly some mistakes. And now she's realizing it. And yeah, it's out there, but never, I don't think people need to be like, could have told that. Like, just listening to her story, I just got so emotional. I just felt so bad for her. Like, that's something she's going to have to carry with for the rest of her life and publicly. It's one thing to do it privately. Like I said, not on that big stage. That's just something hard to get over that's been done to you and as well as your children. That's something hard to even process, let alone you put it out there publicly. Like, it's your fault. Like, all those things, like, people need to understand instead of saying, like, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people who can't relate or sympathize, like, just really just empathize. We don't have to relate or sympathize. Just empathize. There's a part of you that probably dislikes a part of them, Whereas, like, that woman to me, even though it looks like she lived a life of luxury, car, house, like that, I could look at her life prior to even knowing what just happened. I could look at her life and said she had nothing that I want. And I can say that for most of the people in this world today. I don't want anyone else's life. I want my own life. That's what I want. And I want to be able to build it myself. There are, cars ain't my thing. Car for me gets you from point A to point B. And personally, if I don't ever have to drive, your girl winning over here. So to go spend a lot of money on a luxury car, that don't even sit well with me because that I ain't driving, but like that's me. So I can I can get in someone's Range Rover, someone's Maybach, someone's Tesla, Lexus, Mercedes. I can get in all these luxury cars and not be like, damn, man, I want this. No, I can be like, this is nice. This is a beautiful ride. Like, I can appreciate it and see all of the beautiful quality and the work done, but I don't leave there saying, man, I want this. I can see women in the world and, acknowledge, God, they are beautiful. God, they have a spark. God, they have a light. God, I love their energy. Or they have a beautiful home. That's a beautiful outfit. And not be like, I want it. So when I see her suffering, all I can do is empathize because there was nothing about her life that I wanted. So watching it, I didn't feel jealous or anything. I really just felt sad. So sometimes when you see people who cannot empathize with people around them, and like I said, you don't have to understand the situation to empathize. Like literally, you can see someone crying, shedding tears. You're like, children do the best. Oh my God, what's wrong? Like you just feel bad because someone feels bad. Girl, let me tell you like that. If you have any type of success or money or reputation, shit, sorry. It could be an influencer. People just want to bring them down. It's just like, I just don't understand. Like, well, I do understand because there's a part of you that wants what they have or you're jealous of what they have. And it's like we as people have to do better at being confident in ourselves, loving ourselves, that self-love that I'm always on this channel preaching about, being appreciative, being grateful for everything that we've already been gifted and given. Love your life. Is it perfect? Is anyone's life perfect? No. But can you appreciate it and be grateful for the things that you do have? You sure could. I may not have the house I want, but I have somewhere that I have a roof over my head. I may not be eating for dinner the things I would like to eat, but at least I have food. I may be homeless living in my car, but at least I have a car. One of my favorite movies was Pollyanna. Both versions, black and white. Check both out, but the white version talks a lot, and I mean, I watched that all the time growing up. Like my parent, like I'll tell my age, like tapes, like I played that tape out. But it's like Pollyanna, she was annoying to a lot of people in the beginning, especially older people, because she played something called the Glad Game. And the Glad Game, because her dad was a missionary and they never had much, and so he taught her the value of playing the Glad Game. That even though we may not have what we want, let's try to find something that can make us glad about it. Something, always find that silver lining. And I feel like I'm not trying to ignore, avoid, or suppress something bad that happened. I'm definitely saying acknowledge that. Allow yourself, if you feel sad, to feel sad. If you feel like you lost something, if you want to cry, do all of that. At the same time, though, like give yourself some time to cry, like 30, 40 minutes. But then after that, be like, okay, play the Glad Game. Find the silver lining, because there's always something we can be grateful for. Homeless, broke, in some type of toxic or abusive relationship, there is always a silver lining. And your girl is proof of that. I can find a silver lining in everything. And there's a lot of things that have gone horribly for me. Horribly. To the point, it's wow. But I can always be grateful in those moments. And coming out of them, I'm even more grateful. Like people look at me like, if you could get up and do it over again, would you? Absolutely. I go through every hard time all over again because look at the glory God gave me for coming out of it. Look at the resilience I built by being in it, by persevering. Look at my strength. How could I know what I possibly was capable of or made of if I didn't test it, if I didn't try it out? And like, that's what we go to school for, things like that. We have to learn, we have to experience. So that was my whole piece of even sharing this message today. It's like, stop shaming people for experiencing, for living life. That's what we're here to do. Live life, learn things. While you might not have agreed with the choice I made and how I'm living my life, you're entitled to that. Great. Have it. But now, why do you need to share it? Why? Like, I can uplift or educate women about young girls, young women, without making another woman feel bad or using them as the example. It makes me think about the Scarlet Letter. And that was just horrible how they shamed her. And that's what we're still doing today. Men are shaming women, and now even women are shaming women. And it's like older women are shaming women, younger women are shaming. We need to stop shaming people. Just stop it. Like, can we like, as much shaming that we do, can we, tie that in with love? Like, can we one day just have a upside down day, or, those days where you reverse it? As much shame we put in the world, can we try to put love? Y'all, I promise you, this video will probably do really well because, I'm going to make it, the video, the title is going to be real toxic. And, it's going to be clickbait. And if it has more views than my other videos, and you made it to the end of this point, to the end of this video, that was my point. Clickbait negativity gets more looks. Where a lot of times my titles of my videos, they're very positive and very uplifting because I'm trying to share love. But guess what? We don't want love. We want negativity. We need to wake up. Stop talking about these chicks making mistakes. Look at what you're doing. That's what we all need to start doing. Stop talking about what Susie doing down the street. What are you doing? How about that?